Good evening, or at least for me, you guys. How's everybody doing? Hope you're all doing great. I have just spent a little bit of time. I already did Amy's hard team that I thought was pretty accessible. I posted that video for you guys. I've forgotten to do a couple days of Curse City, so I might be slightly behind, but I did finally make my way to the normal Amius, because I always like to post both if I can. If I beat this boss, I'm definitely gonna post the video for you. So I did normal tonight, spent some time doing that. So as always, I will provide a complete walkthrough of the fight, all of the decisions I made, why I did this, why this happened, why this was unlucky, blah blah blah. And yeah, we'll completely go over it step by step like we always do. So, okay, something that I always note, except for maybe, well, yeah. Okay, so I was gonna say except for maybe on Aim is Hard, but that's not true. So, something to note is I do not think this team is super good at all. Like, if I was just doing this personally, if I was not posting this on YouTube, if I was not providing a tutorial that I thought a lot of people could access, I would do this. This would be my team. It would be this. This champ is insanely broken. This champ is insanely broken. This champ is, I wouldn't say insanely broken, but it's a very strong champion. I believe I also did this, and I think it was like this. Or maybe it was this. But yeah, basically my point is if you have better champions than the ones that I have showed, you should absolutely use them. There is no there are clear meanings to a couple of the champions I use, but a few of them are just chillin'. So literally, like if you have a better support champion than Rector Drath, you should use them. If you have, a better support champion than Uugo, you should use them. If you have better damage dealer than Ghrush the Mangler, you should use them. So just, yeah. Like when I do it, I just want to show you something completely accessible just to show you that, hey, like it doesn't have to be that crazy. You don't have to be a Kraken to do this fight. But if you have really good champs, this champion is literally a free win. If you have this, you should 100% be using it. But yeah, it's a really rare champ to have. It was a pain to get him, so yeah. Needless to say, Elytran Blade Master does not make it into many accessible team showcases, if any. That would seem very out of touch. So here's the team that I used. I used Toragi the Froggy. He has a couple positives as well as a couple drawbacks. As always, I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about. The reason I kind of picked him out of these champions in the first place is because he has Ally Protect, it's just become my favorite thing during the Red Moon phase when he does the Ignore Defense ability, because if I can have a tanky character and I can ally protect my whole team, I can split the damage with whoever he's targeting with that and basically just reduce the chance that they would die to 0 or very low. So that's amazing. He also has Decrease Attack. He might get a tiny bit of damage out of the poisons from his passive. Uugo, heal with a little bit of cleanse. He has block buffs, which is not really useful at all in this fight. Decreased defense, which is somewhat helpful, not super helpful, not necessary. Rector Drath, just full support. You've got the heals, you've got the perfect veil. We're gonna take less damage with that. We've got the revive, so she has decreased attack on the A1, but mine does not have accuracy at all. Would never land this ability in an Amius fight in a billion years. And honestly, you probably wouldn't want her to land that ability because it has a better chance of messing you up when he reverses the debuffs on himself and he'll turn it into increased attack. So I would say don't land the decreased attack. Don't want that. Ghrush the Mangler. He has like he might place one of his abilities is like, maybe he'll place decreased crit damage, maybe he'll place decreased attack, and he has leech, he has continuous heal, so he definitely has some things that are a bit useful, but like this is definitely not like a super useful champ. Like as I was saying, if you have a damage dealer, if you have somebody strong and tanky who's not gonna die and they're gonna do a lot of damage, like that would be who I'm picking. Who I'm picking here. It would not be this guy. And then yeah, the basically all of the damage is coming from Ninja. We've got a Brimstone, which is very good in this fight, and then we've got the Hailburn. So basically all of the damage from that combination. So there is my lovely team. It's 4 epics. It is a free Lego that hopefully you are all able to get a few months back, if not a few years back. You know, 2 chances to get him. Hopefully you guys have him. And then again, if you don't, you know, you could certainly do it with, there's a ton of good champions on this rotation. A lot of potential here. This would be good. This would be good. You know, like there's definitely some powerful champs you can use here. This is good. Yeah. Then, you know, obviously all the insane Legos that we already talked about. So let me show you my little run. And then as I was kind of mentioning, this is really not a good run. Like, I'm not proud of this, but I'm not going to post, you know, I'm not going to redo it and make it cleaner. I'm just going to show you guys reality. This is exactly what it is, and that's life sometimes. So, okay, let's go through it. You are going to see me restart a couple of times, and this is genuinely important to show. There are a couple of things you could think about. So the number one thing to think about is, I think in probably most of the Amius videos I've done, I've said, if your Brimstone carrier doesn't land it, you should just restart. It's literally millions of damage. This one became slightly more annoying for me though, because Toragi, he will place decrease attack on his A1. Very, very, very low % chance to do this, but it is a thing. But the thing is, in this phase, you actually don't want him to do this, because if he places it, it will cause Amius immediately go into the Rampant Chaos ability, because he wants to reverse the decreased attack into increased attack, and then he'll have like 4 turns, you know, and then he'll do this one, which increases the duration of his buff. So then he has like 4 turns of increased attack, and it just completely ruins the entire fight. So little bit of RNG here. You do not want him to land the decreased attack until both of these abilities are down. So it's kind of like on one of your attacks, I would just do the first one. You'll use your A1. If you land it, if you land the decreased attack, just restart. And then on the second one, you can use your provoke, which is completely 0 risk to use. Obviously you can't provoke, but alternatively, you're not going to mess anything up. So there's that. And then there's also the third option, which is, or maybe second, there's also another option, which is just don't put any accuracy on your Toragi. Just, you know, make it nice and easy. However, later in the fight, it can be kind of a useful thing to land. So a little bit hit or miss. So here, like I said, I'm probably going to restart a couple of times. And then Rector's my fastest champ. I'm just opening with the A1s because nobody's hurt. You know, we don't want to waste the heal. No need. So we'll just keep going here. A1's on everybody, because remember, you can't really use any debuffs except for things that can't be reversed. So like Leech is fine, the HP Rune is fine, the Brimstone is fine, but you don't want to land anything that can get reversed, which would be like decreased defense, block buffs, decreased attack. You don't want to land these things. They get reversed, and it's very ugly. So yeah, this is like I was talking about. If he lands the decreased attack, he just goes immediately into Rampant Chaos. So I did not like that. I just gonna do a full reset on that. Don't like that. And then see what happens this time. Gonna go through the A1s again. I'll take my chances with the increased attack. I did actually land the Brimstone. I'm not sure if this round will stick. I might have had to reset one more time. I'm not quite sure. Okay, so then, yeah, that's like I was saying, you could, the second time around, you can use the Poison Stench, which is the provoke, and that will, that's not going to mess anything up for you. No risk of landing any debuffs that are going to get reversed. Okay, so now we're here. You can use the Cyan Slash, probably get your cooldowns reduced, which would mean you could use Hailburn again. So that's kind of nice. And something else to note about this team, I have completely foregone block debuffs. So we are just tanking the stuns every time. Theoretically, you can resist them. Like you can see Rector has resisted them, but I don't know. Apparently I didn't really build resistance on any of these champs. So unfort. So we're all getting the stun knocked off. And then now, now it's completely fine and even ideal to land the decreased attack, because then when he starts going into his AoE abilities for the next phase, he's got the decreased attack. So now is actually a good time to land decreased attack on whichever champs you have here. For me is Toragi. Ghrush can also land it. I don't think my Ghrush has this much accuracy, so he's not really landing that many debuffs, but now is a perfect time to use any debuffs that you want. Go ahead. Whatever champions you chose, didn't have to be these ones. Go ahead and use them. We'll just keep E1ing with Rector. Something also to note, when he goes into this form, first thing he's going to do is remove all of your buffs. So, I don't know who you chose, but right when you see that this has like 1 turn up or 0, don't use any cool buffs. He's going to take them off. So just kind of, wait, use these things at the right time. This is an unresistible sleep. Can't do anything about that. So, okay. And then this was kind of a little bit awkward. I didn't run into this on hard because he's just so incredibly fast that he would always take both turns back to back before my team could start their turns. So this is a little bit weird because I've actually got some champions kind of cutting in here. But basically, the ability that he is about to use is the one that will remove your buffs. So, like, Toragi has a turn here. I do have the Ally Protect, but you actually want to wait 1 turn on this, because if I use it now, he will just remove it from everybody, and it will be sad. So, I've gone with the A1. I landed the decreased attack, so that could be kind of nice also. And then, something else you have to keep in mind, you can't just be thinking about this phase in front of you right now. He's very, very quickly going to go into the next phase. So, and probably the first thing he's going to do is use Rampant Chaos, and he's going to reverse all your debuffs again. So be very careful about what you're using here. Like you'll notice I did not use the decreased defense block buffs, because the last thing I want is for him to go back into the other form and reverse these into powerful buffs that are lasting for like 4 turns. Terrible. So be very cautious what you do here. It's fine to use things like the Hailburn, but be careful with your decreased attacks, decreased defense, and block buffs, because those are scary. So yeah, this is the ability that would have removed all of my buffs. So now it's okay to start using stuff. So we're going to use that. We've got Ally Protect on everybody. Super important. I can use the Hailburn again. That's kind of nice. Now, you can use buffs, you can heal people, but again, I'm avoiding those debuffs. I've got continuous heals, and then like, look at that. That's the big ignore defense ability that normally just like one-shots your champion, and then he'll like, it resets his cooldowns and everything, so then he'll just like do it again, and then like, within like 5 seconds, your entire team is just dead. But yeah, I mean, look at that. He split the damage with Toragi. There basically was no damage whatsoever because of the decreased attack, so makes you very survivable during this part. And then, I've got like a million healers here. He's got continuous heal on. We can get this healed up, so really not a big deal. I'm using the provoke again. I don't really want to apply the decreased attack. I'm scared of getting it reversed. So we'll just, we'll we'll keep chilling out, doing what we're doing. Just kind of cautiously using A1s. Okay, so I did get unlucky. I did place the decreased attack here, which means he might do a lot of damage during these attacks. He very well may. That's why I put the ally protect on, because I can see where this is happening. So now instead of everybody being dead, just Toragi was dead, and then I can insta-revive him. And then something kind of nice, in quotation marks, he's already run through both abilities, so I can already start using whatever the heck I want at this point. So, you know, at least it was, you know, the pain was over quickly. We can, you know, we can just go back in, get the Hailburn out. My ninja doesn't really have enough accuracy. You might be noticing that. But yeah, now it's completely fine to use everything. It's actually ideal to land these decreased attacks now, so I'm kind of like, please. But, you know, unfortunately, it only happens when you don't want it to happen. And it never happens when you do want it to happen. So that's just Raid in a nutshell. So we're basically, you know, Amius. It's a stupid fight. I don't like it, but it's pretty predictable, right? Like if you can just get a system down and stick with your system, that's completely fine. So that was the big ability that would have removed buffs. I chose to just, you know, even though Ninja's dead, I still put out the Ally Protect just because he was never targeting Ninja during that part. I guess because of the perfect fail. So I just said, you know, we don't really need it. That's fine. That one actually, that did hit pretty hard. He might have gotten like a crit, but you know, it's a tanky champion who I've built quite tanky. Get some Hailburns out. Again, we'll use A1s again. I get an unlucky decreased attack again. So if that tells you, like, I was honestly very unlucky in this fight. And I got so unlucky, he's gonna get the 4 turns of decreased attack because he reversed it and then he increased the duration. So extremely, extremely unlucky to happen. But here, you know, there's nothing to do but just, if you're not dead and it still looks okay, just, you know, keep going for it. And then, you know, once again, he uses those back-to-back so quickly because you're stunned that, you know, now we're completely fine. We're honestly in good shape. His AoE A1 will probably hurt quite a bit, but we'll deal with that as it happens. Yeah, that actually that actually was quite not ideal. But again, I just want to show you, you know, no matter how absolutely atrocious your run was, you guys can do this. Like, the team could certainly do much better than this, right? This is like worst case scenario. So I'm sure you guys will be fine. All right, so we're coming around into this one again. Unresistible Sleep, big fan. You know, once again, I've kind of weirdly cut into his turn here. Here's the big attack. Ninja has died again. As you can see, the run is just, it's going flawlessly, I would say. Also, it gets worse, by the way. This was not a this was not a good run for me, but he doesn't like Rector. Once again, we're gonna get Ninja back. Oh no, we're not. Oh wait, this is where I forgot. Okay. For some reason, I thought the cooldown was down. So I didn't revive Ninja for quite a bit. I don't know why. The picture just, I don't know. I thought this was like the 1 or something. I don't know. But yeah, that'll just, you know, show you that even if you're terrible at the game, it's completely fine. Just push through. You got this. Okay, and then so once again, I did use the Ally Protect, which is also a big heal for himself, because if you notice people getting weak, you should probably just throw that up because it's better than, you know, literally ending the run, even if it's not the best time to use it. In this situation, he has used this one. He didn't lead with the Rampant Chaos because we've gotten unlucky with the debuffs in the past. So now he's kind of in the more normal order. So we'll just, you know, now we're playing around that ability being second. Increase the cooldown on the Hailburn. And there's the stun. We're a big fan of that always. And then again, now it's okay to apply decreased attack. Of course we didn't. That would, you know, make too much sense. Nope, didn't get it again. But if you can get it, that's like definitely the ideal time to get it. Okay, so now we're in this phase again. This is, remember, big ability, removes all your buffs. We don't like that one. Put out the ally protects because we want to split the damage when he uses the ignore defense ability. Let's see who he's going to target here. Ghrush. So once again, nicely, we're both still very healthy after this attack being used. I've got multiple continuous heals on me from my good friend Ghrush the Mangler. I've got Uugo heals. I've probably got Rector heals in a sec. So actually quite survivable team. Yep, basically everybody's full health now. No big deal at all. Again, I'm avoiding using any important debuffs now because we're very, very close. We're about to go back into the other form. And if he had had these undesirable debuffs on him, he would reverse them into the buffs. So again, don't want to do that. So we'll just stick to these nice chill A1s. I'm sure, oh, I didn't apply the decreased attack for once. Got lucky there. All right, and then, you know, again, it's just a pattern at the end of the day. We're just going to keep doing the same things. I'm going to chill and use A1s until he uses the reversing ability, which he uses right here. All right. And then now, heck yeah, we want to apply decreased attack. That's good. We applied the decreased crit damage, heck yeah. So now it's going a little better for us. All right. I'm debating the heal, I guess. I ended up going with that because, you know, it's kind of like the one time in the fight that it's okay to use it, so may as well. And then, bam, actually going to kill him with the Hailburn. So there it is. As you can see, this is literally a completely ninja-focused fight. He is the only real damage dealer in this scenario. I mean, Ghrush kind of, but I mean, look at this. Like, Uugo did comparable damage to Ghrush, probably because Ghrush is slower and Uugo is in Relentless, so he's getting some extra turns, some extra War Master procs. But yeah, so that was like 6 minutes and 46 seconds. Like I said, it was kind of ugly. There were several times I got unlucky with the decreased attacks being resisted. And then also my ninja doesn't really have enough accuracy. I think you need 400 on normal. I think I maybe have like 320. So I was definitely, I was slacking a little bit on the ninja build. But speaking of the builds, I shall show you all of them and, you know, you can do what you want with that information. Okay, so builds, who did we have? We only had the one Lego, which was Ninja. So the build, historically, I do not associate with gear swapping at all. I never do this. All of my champs are built however they're built, and I only gear swap if it's like a very, very special occasion, like, you know, if I was like gonna beat all of the Cursed City hard rooms and I had one left, sure, I would gear swap for that, but outside of that, I really don't care. So very rare gear swapping situation for me. So I've never even used this because, like I said, I don't gear swap. So I actually I kind of was just looking through my attack champions and I was like, who do I actually have accuracy built on? Because I use my ninja on a team with increased accuracy, so he doesn't really need any accuracy. And so Skrank is one champion I have who has like had over 300 accuracy, so I was like, okay, that's probably fine. So I just took this, and then I believe this is also an HP ring and HP banner because, you know, I mean, he's just outputting so much AoE damage constantly. You're gonna get absolutely smacked if you go out there in full attack gear. Normally, yeah, sure, I would have ninja belt pretty much full attack, but so we'll just kind of do a quick flip through this. Like I said, this is technically my Skrank build, not the normal ninja build that I use. Like I said, we're going to use HP on that. I did stick with the crit damage. You could change that to HP or defense if you wanted to be more survivable. And there you have it. Who do we have up next? We do have Toragi. He does look a little bit menacing. He is +4, but I assure you, you don't have to have a +4 Toragi. You don't need anything, you know, out of this world. I use mine to solo the Scarab King, so it is a regeneration immortal build. But again, you have like 8 healers on that team. You wouldn't need to be using this exact build by any means. We'll do a quick flip-a-roo through it, if you like. Yeah, and he has decent resistance, decent accuracy, because again, you do need those things to solo Scarab on hard, so that's why he was actually landing his debuffs. Let me back it up, actually. Here, I believe I do have a little bit of Cursed City bonuses. So, just for complete disclosure, there you go. And more complete disclosure. There you go. Up next, let's go to Ghrush the Mangler. I got a 6-star Ghrush the Mangler awakening recently, and I just had to do the Crushing Rend because I just had to see, okay? But I assure you, your Ghrush the Mangler does not need to be 6-star in Crushing Rend. As you saw, he did absolutely 0 damage during that fight, so you really, you know, it's probably not the build more than anything. So there you go, Mr. Ghrush the Mangler. Shout out to Ghrush. Rector Drath, this is one of my favorite champions of all time. Huge fan, super useful in like every fight under the sun. Mine's, what's this, Relentless Stone Skin? Again, you don't have to use that by any means. You use whatever the heck you want to use. But, you know, speed, don't die, things like that. And, oh, Uugo. That was definitely my Uugo 1, not 2. So, again, another champion that I like to use in Relentless. For Hydra, you probably don't have to use that specifically for this fight. But, you know, again, HP, defense, you need accuracy to land your debuffs. Okay, let's just double check. Yes, that was everybody. So again, there you have it. Again, it did take me 6.5 minutes. It wasn't beautiful, but I want to show the more real side of the game, like struggling through an Amius fight, and you can actually see like several times where I got super, super unlucky. So I would hope that when you play this, you know, maybe you can avoid some of the unlucky things, you know, maybe put enough accuracy on your ninja, stuff like that. But yes, so that was my team for normal. Like I said, if you have the better champions, like, goodness gracious, please, by all means, use your super good Legos. I like to hope, you know, if you're at the point where you're doing an Amius fight, I really hope that you've gotten lucky with a couple decent Legos on your account. And I hope that at least, you know, 1 or 2 of them are available to you during this fight to make it easier than what I just showed you here. Like I said, if I was just showing the, you know, whatever version of this fight, it'd be like this or something. It'd be like that or something. So if you have all these champs, go for it. But okay, guys, as always, thank you so much for taking the time to take a look at the video. I hope it helped you in, you know, even just a small way. Literally, if it helped anyone in just even the tiniest little way, then it was worth posting, as always. And take care of yourselves. Goodbye.